actually work, but it appears to be working.
Look at the thing on the tablet, the other tablet. First. Am I live right now?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I'm on.
Yep.
You started it?
Sorry.
What's going on here? First, I missed that. No one's done first. So, supposedly, Deshana has set up the thing that should make the video better today. Is it any better today? Do I look less like a goon? Wait, no, it doesn't fix that. She actually said you should just be able to be better. I want her to get a thing that makes me look better, not just makes the signal better. It makes actually me look like I'm a handsome lad or something. So here's my thought. So here's my thought. I motor to the canal, spend the money on that, rebuild a dry dock, and rebuild a Delphi on your own for views. Oh, so, ooh, Ken says everything looks crisp. Hello from. Oh, I didn't know you were in Scotland. I went swimming in the North Sea once in the winter. It was very. Oh, Jeff Krupke's got jerky video today. Stop jerking your video and maybe it'll stop jerking. So Deshana did a thing that's supposed to make the video less jerky. So hopefully better. Okay, a Delphi. Yeah, totally. Drive your boat as far as you can get it and then just come over. So are you saying that you would take it apart? Drive it across the continent, go out in the water and back together here? Yeah, man, that sounds great. Oh, Karina says, my video looks very crisp, lovely. Oh, excellent. I'm so happy. It's Tomaters. Hey guys, how you doing? So I've one I look choppy, and a couple people looks crispy.
Yeah, I wouldn't
so,
worry about it. Fine.
Jeff says it was better. Really? I thought last week we had terrible internet. We were getting so many bad connections. But anyway, I'm just gonna start talking. Hopefully the audio at least comes through. You don't really have to see me. I just look like a goon. I look the same the whole time. Hopefully you can at least hear me, and hopefully 2 or 3% of what I say makes sense. Yeah, Adelphi, sail your leak wooden yacht here, and then take it apart and put it back. You get free dry dock and YouTube views. Oh, a free dry dock, that'd be kind of cool, with crane and stuff to pull boats. I actually recently made it so I can get one of my boats in and out a lot easier out of the water. So I've got my one boat that is the zombie chopper. It's my small white boat. That one I pull out of the water because it's not that big. And the problem was, as I was pulling it out and putting it back in, it was cutting a groove and getting deeper and deeper. And then because it's touching more mud, not mud, but more clay, it was getting harder and harder to pull in and out. Plus it was getting lower, so it was lower and the propeller was like touching the water. So I threw it in the water, well, shoved it in the water. And then there to build it back up where it cut the groove. And then took like a half a PVC pipe, like a half round of a thick 4-inch PVC pipe in the mud. So now the boat comes up right on that pipe, so it doesn't cut into the ground. Ooh, DK says the colors are popping. How's the first? Okay. I'm not going to do questions yet. First, because I always like to start by talking about something. Well, I don't know if I should say I like to start about something. I feel like I should give some kind of monologue, though. Otherwise, I'm being a irresponsible. What do you call it? What am I doing here? YouTube machine podcaster? Something just happened over here, and I have no idea. Okay. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Okay, fixed it. I think. Okay, so what I was going to talk about today, since I planned thoroughly and thought about it all week, was I want to say on behalf of people who have tools to all the people who don't have tools, no, you can't borrow it. You can't borrow my screwdriver and then give it back and say, this doesn't work. I only got like 2 done, and look how crappy the end is. And I get like, oh, you ruined my screwdriver. Or like my drill bit. Never loan someone a drill bit, because they'll come with something like, your drill bit really wasn't fun. Like, I drilled 1 hole with it, and then I tried to drill the second hole, and oh my god, like, it wouldn't even drill the second hole. And I was pushing as hard as I could. I was pushing so hard, and I had the drill on full speed, and it wouldn't even the 2 hole. I just wouldn't even it wouldn't even drill the second hole. Oh, all it did was glowing orange. Here's your crappy drill back, and it's like, oh. So you're upset with me because you don't know how to use oil or slow down your drill hole. Oh! So, whenever someone asks me to borrow a tool, and partly I'm saying this because in my youth, I would feel the pressure from people to borrow my stuff. But for all, still, when people borrow your tools and you don't want to, and people will pressure you. They'll say, "Hey, can I borrow your new chainsaw?" And you'll say, "Oh, come on! I'm not gonna hurt it. What am I gonna do to it? What am I gonna do to it? Come on!" Keep pressuring you and give you crap like they are entitled to stuff. When you planned ahead and saved the money, buy this thing and you take care of it, and they just showed up and said, "I want it." Which brings me to a few examples of this to reinforce this horribly good idea of not loaning tools. I am not a sharer. Do not ask for tools. My first was a little green chainsaw, cost me $200. I was like, I had money. $100 was a lot of money to me at the time. It was like the cheapest chainsaw I could buy that was like pretty decent. And someone asked to borrow it, and I was like, I don't know, man. And he's like, what am I going to do to your chainsaw? What am I going to do? Come on, I know how to use a chainsaw. It's fine. And finally I was like, all right, you can use my chainsaw. It came back with the switch broken. You know the little does the choke and stuff? And from then on, I had to have a screwdriver to start the damn chainsaw. About 18 years ago, my friend, my good friend, like a brother to me, like a best friend, visited me in my off-grid paradise in Vermont. Not my off-grid place here, the place I first went. And he came to visit me from New York. He drove up and he's like, "Wow, cool, man, I love your place, it's so cool, I love getting all that, yeah." Whoa, you have a spot welder. And I was like, yes. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but I was so lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. And this guy, "Hey, I'm on my way to a auction. You want to?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I want to." I picked up this spot welder, $75. Oh, can I borrow it? And I was just like, yeah, those are expensive, and like I got plans for that. It's like, come on, it's a well, I'm not gonna hurt it. I know the thing. And this was a good friend who builds things and has used lots of tools. So I'm like, all right, man, but you gotta do it. I need it back in a few months. I have a project I'm gonna work on. So you gotta take good care of it, though. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, don't. I got. It's no problem, no problem." So he takes my spot welder. 3 months. I talked to him on the phone. You're coming up to visit next week, right? Yeah. Can you bring my spot welder? I need it back for that thing I was talking about that I was gonna do. And he says, "What spot welder?" And I'm like, "Dude, last time you were here, you borrowed spot welder. You took it with you when you took it. He's like, oh, yeah. No, I gave that to you already. And I'm like, you haven't been here since then. Where is my spot welder? To this day, I have no spot welder. My spot welder was gone. He never told me what happened to it. It's just gone. I let him borrow it. Phew, gone. More recently, I let someone borrow a pickaxe. I said, hey, take care of my pickaxe. Don't use it as a pry bar. The only thing you should ever use as a pry bar is a pry bar. Don't use it as a pry bar. He's like, can I borrow your shovel too? I was like, okay, the shovel really don't use as a pry bar. 2 days later, visit him. And he's like, hey man, yeah, I got your tools. And I'm like, what do you mean, are they? Both snapped in half. And I was like, what were you doing with my tools? He's like, no, they weren't very good. Your tools are no good. Your tools, they weren't very strong. They were weak. And I was like, did you use a pry bar? No, I was just digging. Where were you digging? Where were you digging? Fine, over there. I go over there. There's this tree stump thing. Clearly has had a shovel in there. Pry it out. Both snapped. And I'm just, dude. And he didn't replace them. I just got back broken tools. Another time, I loaned a friend a handsaw and an axe. I went over to his house later that day because at this point, I was getting pretty tired of people losing my crap and breaking my crap and whatever. Later that day, when it started sprinkling raining, I was like, I'm going to go check on my tools that I loaned to this guy. So I go over to his house, and sure enough, my tools are leaning against something, sitting in the grass, getting rained on, and they're already getting rusty. And I say to the guy, dude, my tools are getting rusty. What are you doing? You can't just leave them out in the rain. He's like, oh, they're tools. I mean, who cares? I'm like, no, they're my tools. Will you have someone else's stuff? You have to take care of it. He's like, give me a break. So I took my tools back, and he got angry at me. Angry at me, because I let him use my stuff. Oh, another time, I loaned a tape measure. Actually, I didn't even loan it to him. He just took it. This thing. I tape measure for a second. So he takes my tape measure, and he goes straight out across all this mud. And he gets his measurement, and he's about to push the button. Keep in mind, the tape measure is laying in mud. Soggy, sopping wet, mushy mud. The tape measure is laying it, and he's about to push the button to suck all the mud right back into the thing. And I run over, I'm yelling, no, stop! Stop! And I grab the tape measure just as he's starting to suck it back in. He's like, what? What's your problem, man? And I'm like, dude, what is going to happen to all the mud on the tape measure when you wind it back up? He's like, whatever, it'll just come off. I'm like, no, it'll go into the tape measure. And then I'm going to have to spend like 6 hours opening the thing and cleaning it out and putting it back together. So instead, I spent 20 minutes cleaning off 20 feet of tape measure, which was now caked in mud. So anyway, more recently, anytime anyone asks to borrow my, or pretty much anything, you want to borrow my pot? The answer is no. And people get upset with me. Why not, man? What do you think I'm going to do? What? I'm your friend. Don't you care about me? Don't you love me? I do care about you, and I do care about our friendship, which is why I'm not going to loan you something I'm going to be annoyed about when you break it. Oh, you saying I'm going to... No, I don't know. Maybe you'll break it, maybe you won't. Sometimes people return things. But the number of times that people give me stuff back broken or dirty or in worse condition than I lent it out makes it not worth loaning anything out to anyone. So, I'm just going to come out right now and say that no one may borrow any of my stuff. And I'm going to give permission to any other adventure builders out there. If anyone borrow your stuff, you don't want them to borrow your stuff, just say no. And when they try to give you some kind of guilt trip, oh, just say double no. Maybe you need to know what to say when they say the guilt trip, because people, hey, can I borrow that? And you say, I don't really want to loan it out. And then they give you the guilt trip. Oh, come on, man. And that's when you say, okay, now that you're giving me a guilt trip, like you feel entitled to my stuff? Absolutely no. Definitely no. You're not entitled to my stuff. This is my stuff. I went to buy it and I take care of it. No, you can't have it. And I don't know if you're going to wreck it or not, but it's not worth the risk to me. I need this stuff used for myself. So just say no. All right. That's all I've got to say about that. Hopefully, someone out there has been saved from loaning out their tools, and next time someone asks, they're going to just say no.
I want to add that this also means that if you are the person to borrow the thing, you should just stop yourself right now and don't do it.
Oh yeah, that's another good point. If you're going around asking for the crap all the time, go get your own damn stuff, man. Get your own damn stuff.
This includes asking people to do things for you.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we've got here over here in the comments. So, is the video better now than it used to be, by the way, or the audio? Because Deshana set up a thing that's supposed to make it better than it was. So let me know how that's going. Let's see, you remind me of honor video recently. Totally agree with what you were talking about. Oh, good. Yeah, honor is important stuff, man. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom of the comments. If you have any questions, if you've had any questions or comments that I should be reading or listening to or paying attention to, please write them now. I've already written them. Just paste it and post it again. You're not being rude. I just reading them while I was doing my whole raving monologue there. So if you have a question at the beginning of it in capital letters, so it kind of stands out, so it's easy for me to find it. Hey, Deshana, did you have any from anything this week? Videos did I put up this week? An honor video?
Yeah.
Oh, where you spoke of honor. Hopefully that was good. Commenting that they do not loan out their stuff, which yes, totally don't loan out your stuff. And yes, also don't borrow stuff from people. Like most of the time when people borrow things, they don't even really need the thing. Like one time visit in Vermont and they were camping on my land. They're like, yeah, we want to camp out for the week. And they're like, hey, Jamie, we need some duct tape. And I'm just like, why do you think I have free duct tape? And like, come on. And he gave me this hard time for like 15 duct tape. And I'm just like, I'm not giving you duct tape. I mean, if I have any, I'm not just giving it to you to use for a weekend and then it's just going to be garbage. And then like, fine, okay, fine. And then 20 minutes later, they're like, oh yeah, this is what usually happens when people borrow things. They don't really need it. They're just like, I feel like, but to just, I don't know. And if you need it, get your own or make one or repair the broken one. Once, okay, the guy broke my pickaxe handle. He tried to then borrow my other one. He's like, this one broke. Let me use your other one. I'm like, heck no. And I actually made that guy make a new pickaxe. I didn't make him make a new handle for the shovel because it took him forever and he did a terrible job. But hopefully at least learn something from the effort of making a handle for the pickaxe. Oh, tomatoes will be burping. Burb. So Russell Brand can't stop swatting flies while talking. Someone must be. You guys are having a whole conversation over there that I've totally missed. I don't know what's going on. Can I borrow everything? Yes. No. You can't borrow anything. And that's one of the things when people come to visit here. The first thing I want to know is how much stuff they can borrow. And at first I would be like, well, all right, let me see what you can use. Now I'm just like, no, you bring tools, you have your own stuff. You don't use any of my stuff. You use your own stuff. And it's funny when someone comes to me and says, yeah, but like you have always the angle grinder. Everyone wants the angle grinder. You have an angle grinder, so it's easier for you to blah blah blah. And I'm like, when I first got here, I did not have an angle grinder. I built an entire boat with and a rusty saw, you know? Oh, hi. You came to visit.
Hi.
What do you got going on there?
Uh,
Questions from my video earlier this week,
Yeah.
which I have not read. You've scanned and what's it called? Filtered out all the trolls and stuff. No trolls? That's because they know I'm filtering them out.
There might have been one.
I don't even want to know what they said.
Are you sure?
So, yeah, I want to know what the troll said.
Okay.
Your tablet is cracked.
That's not my tablet.
That's Aurora's tablet. Did she drop it down the stairs?
No, we don't want to talk about what happened.
What happened? Okay.
So, Joel McKenna would like to know, and this was the ABC of Honor.
Oh yes, the ABCs of Honor.
How do we introduce commitment in other?
Ha! That is, yeah. I feel like I kind of addressed that in the video where it was like you can't make other people do stuff. You know, the best thing you can do is to try to surround yourself with people who are honorable, but they're few and far between, man. Which is why this is one of the huge motivations in doing these videos. I try to connect with like honorable people because it's so hard to find honorable people just out in the world, just walking around and meeting people. But how do you
Downstairs, please.
you get other people to be honorable? What was the specific question?
It was, how do we induce commitment in other?
I don't know. I mean, you can show by example is I think the best chance of it working, because you can make people like follow commitments, but that means the second you're not there making them do it, they stop. The only way to get any real progress there is to show the good example and have them kind of come along with you, but they have to make the choice. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like freaking. I wish there was a button that you could just be like, just there's the button. You'll follow through with all your commitments now.
Right.
But like most people are just like, well, I meant it when I said it. I just now that it's actually time to do it, I just don't feel like it. So.
Right.
I hate that. Oh. You can't. Well, no. Oh no. That's it. That's the answer. Just all the people start strangling all the people who don't follow through with their commitments. Pretty soon, all dishonorable people will be dead. But that's the kind of solution a robot will come up with. This is why AI is such a problem. Because a robot, when asked that question, it would be like, well, just lop off the head of anyone who doesn't follow through with a commitment. Just
Right.
Go.
Done.
Ones and zeros. The end. Move on.
Maybe we're really robots.
Well, the thing is, there's always like the logical answer, and then there's like what you can really do in real life,
Right.
which unfortunately are far apart right now.
2 people asked what has happened to your cool work boat.
Oh,
I mean the black boat.
the shark
The
slicer.
pirate ship.
Well, he's just kind of sitting there. I cleaned it off a bunch like a couple weeks ago. I like planning what I want to put some on it and change some things. I want to renovate it and make it super cool. And then I want to start using it for more trips again. Because I have some special for some trips I want to do with the cargo boat for some things. So it's in my current list of things I'm kind of on. It's not like top priority thing right now.
Right.
But I did start working on it a little bit here and there.
Some people are asking in regards
Some
to the
people,
land scraping video,
Oh.
about what you plan to do with your masts.
Oh. Did I mention
I
that
think you mentioned something about
I was
it.
talking about using them for a bridge in that one, I think.
Yeah.
So I still might use them to make a bridge. The thing, I was looking at them, and I have 2 sections of mast. One that's about 25 feet long, which is like 8 meters, almost 8 meters. It's around 8 meters long. And the other one that one's only like 15 feet long, like a little under 5 meters.
Mhm.
So it's still, pretty decent sized pieces. And I definitely make one amazing bridge if I use all of it. But I would use all of it. I'm thinking about using some to build a lumber mill. And then I do still want to build a metal aluminum boat. I really want to do that. I'll get to that. That's not at the top of my priority list yet either. I think I'm going to fix up renovate the shark slicer cargo boat before I build another boat. But I could use those parts for that. I don't know. The thing is, there's always future things. There's always so many things that I could use any building material for. At some point, I just have to pick something. So I might just use it for an amazing bridge that would last like 40,000 years or something.
Wow.
Wow.
Somebody was suggesting using it as a wind turbine.
Actually, there is another. I was thinking about using the long one as a crane, like for a crane, and has cables and makes like a big crane, which I'm about. Because then I could like lift boats in and out of the water and lift cargo in and out. That would be pretty cool.
It would be a better use for it, I think.
Maybe, but the thing is, then a crane is a significant amount of space.
Maybe you should build it its own spot.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. There's so many things. And the thing is, I can probably find more ship masts. Like a few years ago, there were 2 sailboats sunk. And they were just there for months. Sure, I could have,
Right.
absconded with significant portions of them since they were abandoned at that point. It would have been salvage deal. But I wasn't ready to, deal with anything like that at that point. But, in the near future, when I get my shark slicer, the cargo boat, if I come across some sunken sailboat or something, I can go in there and either raise the whole boat or come down and saw the mast off. Well, swim and saw like 3 millimeters through the mast and then come back and take a breath, go back down, come back. Or maybe I can make a pump and then I can make fancy helmets. One of our guys makes those.
Dad and him have a company in Bermuda that people
that make the dive helmets things where it's got the tube.
Yeah, they have they take people. I don't want to say on tours because that's not their work, but they go out on the boat for the day.
That would be a pretty cool thing to have. I don't know if it's used. It's not. If I get to like actively doing salvage operations of boats and stuff, then it will be worth doing.
Right.
Like making one of those. That would be awesome.
Right.
Just go down to the bottom, be like, like Jaimo in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, just walking around with my.
Now, did you read that book or just watch it?
I actually read that book.
Oh, shut up! You don't read.
Yeah, when I was like 8 years old or something.
Read.
No, when I was a little kid, I read some books, and then I was eventually one day I said, "These frickin' people! Every sentence they're trying." Hidden agenda, bull. I'm not reading this crap anymore.
So
I stopped reading books.
You read 20,000.
I read 20,000.
What other books have you read? I'm sure the list is short.
Stephen King book called The Eyes of the Dragon or Dragon, something like that.
Yeah.
That was the last novel that I read.
How old were you? Like 12?
15, maybe.
That slid over a little.
Yeah, that keeps sliding over.
Yeah.
Hey, I just farted. Oh, Ben.
Ben. Oh, Ben.
Whenever we have movie night, I love it when there's some kind of farting in the movie.
Yeah.
Because the kids just lose their marbles. Even she's 11, not 12 yet. Even the 11-year-old who's almost 12, she's kind of prim and proper. But if there's fart jokes on the screen, she laughs.
Yeah.
Like we watched Hotel Trans. She actually picked Hotel Transylvania a little while ago, which was like an animated monsters thing. And Frankenstein, who had been kind of dismantled, was playing a joke on someone, his legs, because it was just his waist down. His legs ran up behind the mummy and blew this big, made it look like the mummy blew apart. And they were all laughing their heads at that. And then Dracula's saying to him, wait, what did he say? Are you being serious with me right now in my lobby? Oh, that was totally the wrong voice. I picked the wrong one. Anyway, and last night we watched Marmaduke, which I didn't have high hopes for, but it was actually a decent movie. I thought it could. Thinking it was going to be. Yes, Marmaduke's the dog.
The big goofy dog.
Big goofy dog.
Was it live action or cartoon?
Yeah, actually, they did a pretty good job of animating these dogs. Like they were like talking with their like.
So like real dogs, but they animated them to talk, like the CGI or whatever.
Like they did a good enough job that it. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm like, okay, that is obviously not really talking like a human, but like they did a pretty good job on it. But yeah, there are two parts where Marmaduke is sitting on the bed with his owners, the husband and wife bed, being kind of romantic or whatever, and Marmaduke's just like, wait for it. And then, the couple's like, oh, Marmaduke, what did you eat? And then Marmaduke's like, oh, I don't know what I ate. That was bad even for me. Oh, guys. Anyway. What was the question?
I don't even know. We were talking about books that you'd read.
Oh, yeah, books that I read.
And speaking of books that you read, so have you read Karina's book yet?
No, because
she just right there.
But yeah, but I haven't been.
Maybe you should just read one.
The only time I come to your house is like.
Maybe I should. You should just read it right
now.
All
right. Wait, I had something else I was going to say, but now you.
Well, I asked what books you had read until.
Yeah, I didn't read the actual story. I didn't.
No.
I've been at my house.
Jamie doesn't read books.
Well, I've been at my house and you've been here. You read the story.
I haven't had time. I told her this week I'd do it because they have no school for the kids.
Oh.
So, yeah. I went.
These guys have all these fancy conversations on the side.
Yeah, I know.
And I only catch little bits. I have no idea where they're
from. Yeah, it's okay. Well, they're responding to of a delay in the responses.
They could make you responsible for the whole wreck. Yes, that's right. If I go salvage a boat, I could be responsible for the whole wreck. Yeah. True. Yeah.
Careful with that.
Yeah, I got that.
So.
Yeah, if it was like, anyway, I'm not gonna get into details.
Apparently
Tomaters has not read a book in over 20 years. Is that bad? No, that's great.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of God Save the King, so the Queen died Thursday. Queen Elizabeth.
Well, I had enough of her anyway.
That was kind of weird.
Okay, I don't know.
So that
died the other day.
I know. But yeah, like, can you imagine, like, an entire world knowing you,
knowing that
70 years, like, on, like, in.
I just don't care about royalty.
No, but I mean a person.
No, but you care about royalty.
No,
but literally, to me, it does not matter to me at all.
So let me tell you why I know about it. I didn't know about it until I was looking.
But you actually care about that royalty stuff. You love those movies, stories, and the history.
The stories and the history.
You're sitting here trying to tell me I'm wrong, and now you're admitting.
The people as much as I like the story.
Right.
Anyway,
what is the story? People. It's not a story about robots.
Yeah, but it's not royalty specifically that I'm interested in. Like, that's the point.
That's bull.
Oh, okay.
Really? You love that show, Tutors?
I also love other shows that are...
All right.
Okay, it's fine. So, yeah, anyway. Yeah, hey, we all day. So, okay, my point, what I was going to say is that it's crazy.
Thousands of people died the other day.
Right,
yeah.
And it's crazy that, like, there's this one that, like, the world knows, and, like, they die. And then everybody's really sad about it.
Don't care at all.
I don't understand that.
I care 0% about that whole thing.
Anyway, it's regardless. That wasn't my point. So,
you just your thing.
Yeah, I don't really have any other questions that are on here. They were all just comments about stuff that you were doing.
Speak for yourself, Tomater.
They showed this comment of questions.
Adelphi cares the queen. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah, the only reason I mentioned it was because
there were no other questions on there?
No, they're not really questions. They're things like where people are like,
Well, maybe I want to hear it. We got any? Yeah, Murphtopia twice. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. I know. Anyway, the only reason I even thought about the Queen thing is just because I saw that comment right where it says "God save the King." That's the only reason it popped into my head. So, no.
How's the solar
really...
boat going? The solar boat is great.
Yeah.
I just drove to town the other day.
They're not really questions. They're like.
Well, let's hear some fancy comments. Oh, speaking of comments, so last week I was talking about. I'm kind of in the shade here. Last week I was kind of talking about how I was, feeling down. Maybe it was last week or the week before, whatever. I feel a little bit down about my whole, video thing. Like, am I even doing any good here? Even worth? Like, I'm trying to do my best, but I gotta end up coming to the conclusion that I should just do my best thing and not worry about it. But then this week, someone sent me an email. It was an email, right?
Yeah.
It was a very kind email, and I don't think it was because of that. It was just good timing, and how this guy had been watching my video since he was like 12 years old or something, and now he's like, and he was saying, I had a significant impact on him and his life choices and stuff like that, and it was positive, like a positive influence, which was great. That was really cool. I haven't gotten one of those messages in a while, but it's really good, and it reminds me, yeah, all this stuff I'm doing is worth it to someone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. An example of like something that's not really a question, but it shows as a
We
question.
have an outside antenna for our internet. It's just our tower is 15 miles away. Something like that.
Right.
I mean, we're wires and roads and things like that. Like that's just the deal.
You live in the middle of the ocean.
Well, not in the middle of it, but we're.
So, for example, Mark W says, "When stressed like you are now, I take 3 deep breaths in my nose, out my mouth. What does that do, you ask? In my experience, it clears your mind so you're able to see what it really is." That wasn't a question. Had a question in it, so it pulls it up.
It makes me laugh as I'm hyperventilating, and then I forget what I was worried about.
Yeah.
Mama. Mama.
Yes.
I did a puzzle.
Yeah, okay, can you have help you, please? So like another one, which is not really a question, is, it seems to me that these dishonorable people need better role models. I'm glad we have you, Jaime. Also, you're dealing with a little island time mentality when meeting with locals. So like that's not really a question.
I don't know about island time. Something I can comment on.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, like, dishonorable people, that's a standard way of doing things now. Like, today people live under business ethics, which I went into when I made that movie the Adventure movie. And just the standard way of thinking today is to think with business ethics and be greedy, and that's an accepted thing. If you're greedy and take as much as you can, well, that was a good business decision, a good way. And people get patted on the back for all that kind of stuff. And it's just so accepted to be dishonorable. Like if you make plans somewhere and meet someone, it's not considered unusual at all for people to just not show up.
Yeah.
Anything. Just not show up. Like just totally normal.
Or you order something and they just tell you they're going to get it on Thursday, and then they don't. But they don't say anything to you about it.
Yeah,
so you ask like the next day 4,000 times, whatever. I think
it's just in the same are just presumed to be liars, which is a terrible state of affairs. It's horrible. Like it has nothing to do with being on an island or being off grid or whatever. It's just our society today. We are collectively accepting this garbage. Like we're accepting a lower standard of honor amongst ourselves, which I don't accept, which makes it difficult to do. Sorry, where are you going?
So I think this is something that you would like to comment on, this conversation they're having that because I think this specific, this comment and this comment, I think you might want
You version of the Kardashian. Oh, okay.
So the
Queen is the version of the Kardashians. I still don't know what this Kardashian thing is.
Right, that's not the
They
point.
exploit and get rich off unwilling nations, which they colonize and celebrate. This still, yeah.
So
I mean,
wait, before
I'm
I comment on
pretty
that, the rest of
thoroughly
it.
disgusted with like kings and queens and royalty in general. Most of those places have nicer than any occupier. They were nicer occupiers than other. Oh man. Okay.
There's so many things to unpack.
Yeah, where to start? Okay, this comment about. So the English went in over places that had nothing.
Right.
And they made.
Right.
I see this all the time here. So there are native people living in this area who have nothing to do with money. And gringos white in with money and give them money. And give them jobs. And say, well, I'm for these people. I'm giving them jobs which they didn't have before. So now phones. And now the younger generation is moving away from effing paradise. Who live in crappy little apartments in cities. And they have no idea what they're giving up. Because these people, these come in with all this money and this flashy stuff and look at my phone and my computer and my motorboat and they're just saying, oh, so much better. We have all this stuff and you have nothing. You have nothing. Everything I do to you makes your life better. And it's disgusting. It's just looking down on people, and you know, the gringos talk about the local people in the most demeaning way. They just call them workers. They're not people. They just call them, this is my worker. These are my workers. Those are my workers. That's workers. It's this whole underclass of people who are just called workers. What happens when you get these people who have more technology or are more advanced in some very specific way, who go to a country that doesn't have that stuff? So if I'm in a country, we've developed tanks, and we roll into a country that has not developed tanks. Well, we can just do whatever because we've got tanks, and we can look at them and say, well, you pathetic people have nothing. You're just garbage because we have clearly more because we can blow you away with our tanks. And it's so arrogant and disgusting. And it's completely disregarding all the value of those people. So people around here, the old people who tons of stuff about the plants that are local to here. Like, I was walking around one of my properties a while ago with a guy who's like 70 years old. And he's like, this is medicine right here, and this is medicine. And we're just going looking at all these different plants, and he's telling me all this stuff. There's no way I could possibly process it all, because it's just a pile of crazy looking tropical trees and plants. But he knows all this stuff that I don't know, and none of the gringos know, and this is useful stuff. It's way more valuable than having a friggin' cell phone. And, you know, just getting back to that, you know, the younger generation around here, they just want to get a cell phone. That's the first thing they want. I need to get money to get a cell phone. They don't have anywhere to charge it, so they go around, you know, asking people to charge it just so they can spend all day going like this. And it's so frustrating seeing, you know, this coming from this rich society where they pretend everything is perfect and amazing. We come from heaven, and going into these places where it's more primitive and saying, we have everything. But when I lived in the United States, when I lived in Canada, I did not see happy people. I saw people who were kind of accepting permanent depression. Happy people, what you can with, and yeah, go ahead.
We've been going on for a little while, and
like I need to go on about this.
Okay. So I think that there's a conversation that's going on that I think you would also like to comment on, and that is like one fan on one side that's saying how if people don't conquer other, bring they just spheres basically, but like within a society,
You don't have to conquer people.
That's not the right word.
No,
but,
that's what it is.
okay. So regarding
Giving.
right,
Go ahead.
I think I need to figure out what I'm trying.
Okay, let me. Going back to the. See.
I know what I want to say about this.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think what would be interesting to comment on is that this one person stands on the side is that if a society is left on its own without outside interference, they will never develop more, which is not true.
Which is not true,
Which is
but
not
also doesn't make sense. But go ahead.
right. And so, and the other person standing on the other side saying, "Right, that's not true," and then the person saying, "In the trees." But the thing is that people are all people. So like everybody, like intelligence amongst all types of people. Like
There's an important point that people are missing. You're not either making the most and just forcing everyone to be the same, or having everyone live in the trees isolated. It's not one or the other. And this is the problem I see around here, is trying to explain about coming out and saying our society is the best, your society has nothing. And this was the comment that was up there. England went and conquered people who had nothing. So wiping out all of the value of that society and replacing it with just the same thing. Anytime you connect with another society, you should be learning something from them. You should teach them and learn something. It's not about crushing one or crushing the other or picking which one you want. It's about taking what's the best out of both and making something better. This is why I don't understand how people don't get the concept. Until I think about the way that... Yeah, you know what I'm me right now. Until I think about the way we're taught in school, where everything is a competition. It's my team. My team wins, or that is it. You don't cooperate, and this is why, one country is another country, whether it's with bombs or financially or with condescension, whatever. It's just this constant stupid that my society survives or your society survives, and it's one of the other. They shouldn't. We shouldn't figure out what's best about both, because if I as the gringo accept that you have something of value, well then that diminishes me. What an idiotic idea. So here's a perfect example. So in Africa, have nothing. They don't even have water wells, or now there's all this more technology being shoved in there. But there's a lot of areas in Africa, very technology and very little industry. And people look at that and say, "Oh, those downtrodden people, they're horrible." And one of the huge negative consequences of this is the people there believe it and they're doing in life, and say, "Oh, well, everything we're doing is stupid. We'll just sit here and be pathetic and just ask for charity, up our way of life." But there's this hugely important concept, and I'm sure people have heard this word, Ubuntu. Do you know what Ubuntu means? There's no translation in English. And this is something that, when we to taking that word and adopting it, translates as I am because we are. So I am happy because we are happy. I am sad because we are sad. It basically means that what you do to the world, you do to yourself. Like we are all connected. And in the society where I grew up, we learned that everyone's out for themselves. Everyone fend for themselves. You got to beat everyone else. There's a competition, fight to get to the top. And cooperation is just something that's like, it's like a little bit told to do whatever, really. Unless, it's like some kid game, or if we're cooperating with our team against the other team, but our team can't cooperate. There's always got to be some competition, us against them, always us against them. But the concept like it erases that whole thing. It says, wait. We can't win if they lose. I can't be a winner if can't be the loser if you're all winners. We either all win or we all lose. And this is one of those pieces of culture. You know, people with technology and say, well, that's not technology. It's not money. I can't sell it. I can't package and ship it off and make money out of it. And a lot of times when a higher technological society meets a lower tech society, ideas that just bulldozed over. And like I was saying earlier, like about living and what to eat. Like one of the huge problems is people don't know what they should be eating. Healthy, they can't take care of themselves. They don't know what, like, medicine is something you get in a bottle. And healthy means you go to the doctor. But that's not really healthy. You go to the doctor because you're sick. There's all this medical stuff. They don't make money off healthy people. They make money off sick people. So sickness is encouraged. But to a more primitive society, you'll find that people understand much better what you should eat, the kind of things you should eat. What is medicine? Like this 70-year-old guy who was talking to a while ago. Well, this is medicine here. This is medicine here. If you get, what's it called when you get stuff? Grind up this bark and eat it, or you do this. And he's telling me all this stuff that he knows. And while I was just thinking, all of this knowledge is just disappearing. And this, in his society, the society where he grew up, everyone knows this. Everyone talks about it. Everyone knows it, just like I know that you flip a light switch up to turn on, down to turn off. Like, he's like, well, this plant's good for this plant's good for that. Anyway, so I've just been going on for like half an hour about this. But the basic here is, when a high tech society goes to a lower technology society, a place that's more primitive, you don't have to erase that more primitive society. Them. You don't have to make them be what you are. Since, like, the culture where I grew up, we do not have it figured out. We are a mess. Health-wise, we are a disaster. We have amazing technological marvels. I can communicate with, like, someone on the other side of the planet. But, like, health-wise, I mean, like, you know, the rate in the United States and in Canada and Europe is terrible. And in a lot of primitive people are much healthier anyway. We don't need to take society and crush the other one, or have that one crush the other one. We should be learning from each other and taking the best of it. The problem is, make money from it, our culture won't accept it. Which is why I kind of left that culture behind, because we lose so much with that kind of thinking. Oh, video stream is a bit choppy today. Is it any better than it was before? Question, did you see I sent you about hemp? There's so much you can do with it. I did see the link. I haven't looked at it yet, but I lived in Vermont for a while, which is a big weed place, and I've been told many things about hemp. But I'll look at it after. Jaimo, would you agree to this phrase? Okay, let's see what this phrase is. Would I agree to this phrase? If I am looking for your help, don't impose your help onto me. Yes, I would agree with that. I might be living happy, or I might be happy living a simple life without technology and modern tourism. Yeah, I mean, so in life, I've learned that forcing or help is often one of the most destructive things you can do to another. Particularly, video is great, but audio is very poor. I don't know. Anyway, one of the worst things you can do to another person, and I mean, I've made videos about this where I talked about it before, but basically, when you see someone who's struggling, you just give them it's like giving them a pass. Like, here's some money, just don't worry about this. Here's some money, it'll fix you. Skipping the obstacle. Now, there are certain circumstances where a person literally can't get through an obstacle and maybe they need help. But a lot of circumstances, people will learn more, gain more, and just get so much more strength by facing the struggle they're dealing with. And by coming along and saying, oh, well, thing in my society that can just, skip over that. Here you go. It makes it so they don't end to learn to then prosper in the future. Is you just gave them a free pass, a bunch of stuff where they could have learned. And another problem is, it comes back to more higher tech societies visiting a low tech society. So like a place we'll visit, like an area that has subsistence farming. So, people are growing food in their gardens, which is great because it's way more healthy than the crap you get from factory farms. Oh, the audio choppy. Sorry, man. I don't know what But anyway, like a high-tech person will go to a place where people are farming, and they'll say, well, I've got extra money, let's start a charity, and we can help you people by giving you money. And you can take the money and just go buy food. You don't have to grow food. Well, within a year or two, those people lose the ability to grow food. And now you've made them dependent on your help, on your charity. And they're not people anymore. They've lost their life, they've lost their livelihood, they've lost their purpose in their days. Just this whole idea that higher tech societies are the best and lower tech societies have nothing to offer is just really insane. I understand why people still think that. Except I do understand why people think that, because it's easy to sit in your house and just think whatever you want about places you've seen. Or even places that you just see on TV, or when people go playing and look at places real quick and say, oh, look at those drowned people who aren't real people. They're just like kind of things that I can talk about when I go home and say, oh, I helped these people with my charity, and pat yourself on the back when you really sent them backward. All right. Hey, what are you doing to Shana Gibbs?
I'm coming back up there. I was just getting
Video's great. Audio is very poor. I never really like seeing. Oh, that's terrible. Opportunity to discuss monarchy here in the United Kingdom. Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on monarchies, man. Oh, just like I think that for humans to progress into the future, we have to get rid of the idea that one human should rule another human. We just need to totally get rid of that idea, because when people can rule other people and people's lives, it makes it so one bad person can make a huge impact in the world. So you get one bad leader, send an entire society down the toilet. I mean, that's just one of the problems. Yeah. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. It was just sorting out lunch for the kids.
I feel this way shaping my food forest at the moment. Oh, you're shaping a food forest?
Yeah,
Let's
she
see.
is.
Yeah, she's talking about, so Karina is talking about how being hands-on is so much nicer. Yeah, hands-on and doing stuff with yourself. Like, you grow your own food, it tastes so much better than anything you can buy. Just 2 days ago, I was about to say I harvested some bananas, but the banana tree got so heavy that it actually fell over. 150 bananas. Like, I can't even show how big it was within the screen. I had to use both hands to pick this giant thing of bananas. It was the most bananas I've ever seen on a tree. Anyway, those bananas, and man, they're just amazing. Mm-hmm. I love, like, anything I grow myself. It just tastes. It tastes like a banana, and it also tastes self-satisfaction. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you grow your own stuff, isn't it?
No, it's fine.
Is that any better? Our resolution was set so high. Somebody's fired from leaving so high.
Oh, you're welcome to handle it in the future.
Oh, stop. Well, maybe I will.
Great.
Let's see. All right, we've just lowered the video resolution. Hopefully that improves things. My body sawing branches and working in the garden for the last 2 weeks. Working physically so hard for so long, but seeing the potential is so uplifting. Okay, Karina, doesn't your body like also feel amazing when you're like sore from like hard work that you've done for like good purposes? Like doesn't it all feel good? I don't know. To me, like I always, whenever my muscles are sore from doing some kind of good work that's been improving my life, it's just like this constant reminder that I've done this stuff. Satisfying. Banana bread, yeah, there may be some. So far, 6 bananas that ripened this morning, and we ate them. Oh my god, they're so delicious. Oh, so good. Oh, such good bananas. And yeah, I need to bring some over here. And the tricky thing about bananas, I got so many bananas at once, and in like a week, like 100. So we're just gonna have to go crazy eating something. Oh, I should make some banana chips. Like dry out a bunch. If I get I'm gonna dry out some bananas and make banana chips. Oh, that sounds amazing. We should totally. Oh. So how you?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, things are good.
Yep.
Oh,
I made chili for lunch.
is it with the beans that had bugs in them?
Well, I washed them.
Oh, good. So you got the.
I mean, I washed them.
Well, I'm gonna presume it means you got the bugs out. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I have that giant thing of the. We need to plan when to open that.
Mm.
I have a huge can of tomato paste. What's it like, a or something?
Mm.
Whenever I open one of those, you know, I kind of have to plan what to do with it. Usually I make an enormous pot of chili and I give some to you. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think nobody has questions today.
Yeah.
Maybe we have nothing to talk about.
Okay.
Maybe I just turned everyone off when I went on and on about societies and the queen and crush cultures and stuff.
Maybe.
Did I fart machine? Tap my fart machine. Although I've been thinking about it more because people keep asking me, "Oh, hey, Classic Dude Mike, I have a question for you. How is your fart machine going?" For anyone who doesn't know, this is like sort of like a septic system that makes methane, and then you can use the methane to like, you know, run a gas stove or stuff like that. And Classic Dude Mike made one. And how is it going? Like, do you use it to cook? Or what do you use it for? And like, how often? How much do you use it? How often does it run out or whatever? I'd love to hear how that's going.
You should also ask Karina about her food forest.
I want to know. Wait, where's Karina?
Karina is in the U.
Oh yeah, Scotland. No, she's in Scotland.
Yeah.
What kind of plants is Karina growing? What kind of plants do you have in your food forest, Karina? I'd like to hear that. Of bolognese the other week, all from own stuff. Sauce later this week. So many tomatoes. Oh, I wish I had. Tomatoes are sort of hard to grow here because it's very wet, and the tomatoes get too wet. Although I'm working on it. I'm thinking of making a covered roof thing so I can grow tomatoes without getting so much. Is it a fanned mind that?
It just wants to know
Is it
if
a
the fan
fan
is
mind
on.
that buzzing noise? No, it's just in your.
I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And if we had a freezer, we could make more food at once. Oh yeah, that's why I have to plan the tomato paste thing ahead of time because we don't have refrigeration. So I kind of got to do something that's gonna. You can't tomato stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So Dan is saying to use paper filters, make sandwich, slice banana chip, dehydrate.
For home furnaces. Those. I'm probably going to lay them out on a sheet of stainless steel and maybe put like netting over it. I don't know though. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to see. It might be okay just out. I think if it's out in the baking sun, the flies might stay off them.
What about
Well, the ants, I've got a special trick. Do you know about?
I mean, what's your special trick?
You said no, so I'm going to tell you. I did this bucket down something, and then put a plastic bag over that, so the bag is loose and flappy. And then I put my tray, which is like a big steel, and then on top of that. And they don't like climbing up the loose plastic bag.
Oh.
Like you gotta have it so that, like, I guess so the bag isn't like touching the bucket at the bottom. Just walk up, and then down the plastic bag, and then around the edge, because that's hard to get around, right? When you're and get up, they don't go up it. Yeah.
Did you like study them for like hours?
No, I put out some mangoes, came back, and I was like, there's a few ants on there. What can I do? Maybe they won't like climbing the plastic bag, because getting around the edge of the plastic bag, it would be hard for an ant, wouldn't it? So I tried it, and yeah, 0 ants. That's how I dried all those mangoes when we got hundreds of mangoes that one year.
That's cool.
I got hardly anyway.
Yeah, I remember when you did those. Yeah. The kids really liked them.
Here goes nothing. Is this something I should read?
Oh, yeah, if you want to.
Oh, did you read it?
I did.
Okay. The update
of that's
Miss
Frederick. He's fine.
Miss D's video for styrofoam bricks for her new home. I still didn't manage to watch the video, but it's my Toto list. How's it going so far?
Oh, it's going good.
Dana came over yesterday and said, well, before she came over, how hard would it be to make me a styrofoam grinder? And I was just like, pain in the butt.
I actually you and you made the option. You said, would you like to build it yourself, or would you like for you?
Well, it's kind of a pain in the butt to make, but is it more or less of a pain in the butt than having you come over and make a mess of my house?
Which is really funny, because you know what I was thinking?
All right. Anyway.
Oh, so I can't respond to that?
Oh, go on.
Thinking was, if I make it, like, if he makes something or I make something styrofoam here, then I don't have to use the like battery electricity at Jamie's house. I can just use the direct electricity here, like, when it's available, and I'm not going to bother Jamie so much.
Okay, so you radioed me and said,
oh look, Alexa's trying to talk to you.
Some version of Jamie build the styrofoam grinder. Somehow that was communicated in some way. I don't know how it was, but somehow I got the idea that I needed to build a styrofoam grinder. Maybe sort of, possibly. Maybe it might be a good idea if I build it. Right. So you know how I'm always collecting the junk all the time, and people are always like, oh, we have this junk, and you're like, why do you want this junk? Like an hour later, I had a styrofoam grinder. I didn't have to store anything. I just went in my pile. Not even a pile.
It's actually 2 hours.
It's actually organized. No, I didn't start right away. It's pretty well organized. You know, it's on shelves and stuff.
I was just making a joke.
Anyway, I made your own styrofoam grinder.
But you
with
have
my stuff
of coming over and doing it with you. Like you said, would you want me to help you make it, or do you want me to just make one?
I wanted it finished that week, so I just did it.
Oh, I thought you just did it so that you could tell everybody how.
You weren't supposed to think of what I just said. Anyway, you have a grinder now, so you can do it.
It's cool. I'm excited to use it.
Anytime you want.
Yeah. It's not a bug sucker. It's the baby's sleeping fan.
Yeah, it's right now asleep, and we keep a fan blowing on her. I think, well, partially fan
it makes noise.
keeps her cool, and the noise like kind of drowns out me.
Yeah,
talking
really
real loud right now.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to know, did
okay.
the audio improve at all? Nobody said anything about it.
Oh, no one's complaining about it, so it must be better.
Right.
Jaimo, I remember. Wait, I remember you said.
They just want to know if the robot.
Once you want to build a big, will be. I don't think it's gonna have options, although it may have a button that sucks flies up and kills them.
Fly, Jamie.
No, this is a fly option. That means it'll flies.
Interpret things the wrong way.
No, I'm not gonna make a robot that flies. If I make something fly, I'll be like a dedicated flying machine.
Oh, Classic Mike uses it. He uses cow poop with human poop.
Hold on. I do want to build a giant robot. I've actually been thinking about more about that, about the design I want to do. I'm gonna have to build a.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Build a prototype of the design. Anyway, what did Frederick say? My country, they
loose cotton wool around fruit trees, and insects get their little feet tangled in the fibers and can't crawl up them.
I actually did that on a pipe that goes to my water tank because ants were going up it and going into the. And I tied a piece of plastic bag around it, and I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, cotton. Okay, Classic Dude Mike. He's talking about his poop machine, the methane producer. He says it works. I use cow poop with human poop. Does he like put it in a bowl and eat it? Get it together. Maybe you should tell people when you're going to do that.
I do.
Did you say I'm about to turn off the audio to do some settings?
Yeah, I said we'll be right back.
Oh, I didn't hear that at all.
Okay.
I was like in the middle of talking.
You weren't. You were at the end of something,
Okay.
And
You're right. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Now what about this? I was actually in the middle of this sentence.
You would literally just
a day's worth of production.
You would literally just ask
I
a
was
question.
literally. Oh God! Can you stop?
Okay.
A day's worth of production gets you a 15-minute burn on high flame.
I have to check the bread.
So you can rig a 12-volt tire pump and compress it in a propane tank. So every day you get 15 minutes of high flame on your cookie. So his methane machine is totally working. Whoa, man! It's like raining outside, and you can probably see this blowing. Man, it is storming out there. No water's blowing, so we don't. Actually, the wind feels kind of good. Okay. He was saying the audio is a bit jumpy. Hopefully, we just fix the setting that helps. Dude, your Adventure Club video game is pretty hard. Oh, good. I kept getting blown up like crazy. Oh, well, just keep trying. I mean, if you're like a video game guy, it shouldn't be hard. It might take a little practice. But my 10-year-old's actually it, and she doesn't play that often. Video quality is awesome today. Sound is okay but choppy. I'd rather have the audio good than the video.
Yes.
Pulsing the pause button behind your back might help.
I mean,
I want to reduce the video.
wait, Tom.
Oh, okay. Does that work any better? Sorry, we just got. Now everyone's saying get Starlink. That was a joke. Yeah. All right. Hopefully that's working better. Storm is going through is why the audio is not so good. I don't know if it's a storm or if it's just. I mean, it's just the internet. I don't know what's going on. It's stupid technology stuff. It's so complicated and it works sort of. You know. I don't know. Oh, someone says it's better. So I just reduced the resolution on the video a little more. So maybe that does help. I guess we could always spring for the audio, the higher, faster internet. If we get faster internet, it's like another $80 or something.
No, it's only 40.
Oh, it's only $40? Yeah, if we get faster internet for $40 a month, I think for the most part it's. I hardly ever use the internet is the thing, so it works fine for uploading my videos. Okay. People are saying the video and the audio is amazing right now, so we should just use these settings all the time.
Okay, great.
chop is completely gone, thanks. So 640 by 480 is the video. And then the audio is 32,000 for the bitrate. So, how's everyone else doing today? So, how many videos did you upload this week?
One.
Just one? Just the honor one?
Yeah, I didn't want to bombard people with, like, I wanted them to be able to think about, you know, the philosophical ones. Like, you know, not just be bombarded with videos that were, like, kind of similar. So it's just based on all.
Yeah, do I have any other ones besides those ones? Oh, I'm gonna
Oh,
have to
wait,
make
no,
some.
Dad Bod.
Oh, I put up Dad Bod this week?
Yeah.
Oh, did anyone have any
Forgot about that.
comments about that one?
Yeah, they did.
That one was kind of silly.
Yeah. There was no questions in that one, though. It was all just commentary.
So Mike here is talking about the fart machine, you know, the methane producing thing, and a lot of people are using plastic bags to hold the methane. I don't want to do that because that'll wear out and get holes, then become a piece of garbage. So I really like the idea of like an overflow tank. So like as the air pressure builds up, the gas pressure, it pushes the sludge through a tube into a second tank that rises, and that liquid level being higher than this one is the pressure that pushes back on the gas, and that has no moving parts other than the goo itself. Yeah, we totally lost our light, didn't we? We had to reopen a window thing. Man, look at those dark clouds. We're gonna get storming soon. It's storming kind of now, but it's gonna get even more.
Maybe.
You know, my methane producer works. I just need to get the pipe and put it. How's it going over there?
I'm just looking at what you're asking.
Fart machine, the higher the caloric value of what you put in it, the more farts you get. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, the comments on Dad Bod were like...
So do you know what the point of Dad? You didn't watch it.
Yes.
You don't watch my videos, right?
Not generally.
Yeah. Well, it's basically you don't have to get fat just because you have kids.
Yeah. So Doug McLeod, Sorry, Doug.
You'd be a terrible Highlander, McLeod.
It would be. It's true. I remember doing the same things with our daughters.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you let your kids keep you in shape, they will keep you in shape.
Insano says walkers do help getting around easier. You should give them a chance. I think he would.
Oh, walkers. Jamie, it's raining in northeastern USA. Also, please consider building aircraft. I do want to build an aircraft. I want to build a ground effect airplane. I don't need to fly high up. I just want to zoom around just over the water. Maybe I'd make it so I could get higher, but I don't really care about that much.
I want to make an airplane that would fly.
My 4-year-old says he wants to build an airplane too. Well, you are in the right place because you can learn how to build an airplane here.
Gary says he'll meet you over at the Loma Partito Old Folks Home at 6 for dinner.
Oh, do they have a free meal? I'll go anywhere for a free meal.
Jim's Equipment Shed says, yeah, it's funny how that works. When you stop doing stuff, you get round. I did get a taste of that myself a couple years ago, though. I broke my back, and it took me about 2 years before I could lift anything over 30 pounds.
Yeah. When I got injured from this idiot track coaches, I should have just quit the team as soon as I knew what was going on. It took like years to get back to 100%. That was frustrating. And a good lesson to learn. Would have been nice to learn that one, not the hard way, though.
Then somebody responded with for the ABCs of honor. When people ask for help, it's because of two reasons: skills or strength, or both. When it's skill based and the person asking often has no idea how much organization and effort help sometimes takes. It's important to step them through the whole process when they ask, and also be prepared to say no.
Yeah. Well, when people ask for help, they usually don't want help. They just want you to do it. And I mean, occasionally people actually want help and want to learn something. And I'm always happy to teach someone how to do something. But you can only teach someone to do something if they're actually committed to learning it. So Mike's methane machine is a 55-gallon drum with the lid cut off. So it's just like, fill it with poop, then another smaller drum with the lid cut off upside down, put it in the poop. So it's just like this. So I guess it fills up, and maybe you put some rocks on top to keep the pressure, and then you have a tube coming out the top, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. And then as the methane gets produced, it would push up the one thing, and as you use it up, it would go back down. It's awesome when your 4-year-old or any of the kids gives their input into the chat. They amaze me how at their age they actually think instead of repeat what they learned. Yeah, they have not learned to just do what they're told. I totally teach them to like be imaginative and try to do things.
You know what you could use maybe for the collecting the gas is that
it's
weird
collected in the thing,
or whatever these people were talking about with like separating it. Do you stop this?
No, it's just something to store it that you can put weight on that'll push it back out. But the way mine and yours is, the main big tank is where the gas is stored.
Mm-hmm.
And as the gas builds up, it builds up pressure and pushes the sludge down out into another thing, and that's why you have the secondary tank that fills up. So the gas is stored under pressure in the big main tank. So as you use it, this will come back down, and yeah, but it is stored in there.
Okay, cool.
And the point is to have it stored in there.
Awesome.
Smaller. Okay, Mike's smaller drum has a ball valve mounted on it. Plastic hose from ball valve goes to an air mattress to collect gas. Oh, so he's just taking the gas right out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would want to do it where it's stored in the solid pieces, not into a gas thing. Ostracized. Wait, what's ostracized? Probably what I was just talking about. I don't know. All right.
Possibly.
Are we ready to go to lunch?
Oh yeah.
I think we're out of questions. Now I'm just talking about silliness, and maybe we got our audio and video right.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. All right, let's go have some lunch.
Oh, wait.
Maybe.
This guy's been off grid in the UK for 3 years, and he's getting kicked off his land by the man. It sucks here. Yeah, the UK is like the worst place I've ever heard of to try to live off grid. It's really bad there. The rules are horrible. Like even, yeah. At least of all the places I know of that I know the rules of the country, the UK is the worst. All right, let's go have some lunch. Okay. Well, bye everyone. Have some lunch, and I guess I'll see you next week. I'll try to make some good videos. Okay, bye. Oh yeah, I'm gonna push the button.
Cocaine wants to push the button.
This one?